So, what inspired you to create Metalocalypse and Dethklok? Did it happen at the same time? Was it a package deal? Or
Yeah, it was all one thing. So going back to the timeline where I kind of put my guitar back in its case and I started studying comedy, something was happening a little after that where I started getting back into my guitar and listening to metal again and rediscovering that, like, while I was at music school, metal had gotten much heavier and much harder and scarier, and I was really excited by that. And I started playing my guitar a lot more, just for myself. And I started going out to see shows, like in the early 2000s and stuff. And at some point after home movies, and I was starting to shop other shows around and sell some other projects, all I would talk about was metal and just how heavier everything had gotten and how the production had gotten better and how everyone started playing their instruments again. And people were just it was just amazing, you know? And a buddy of mine said, who I was talking to about that while I was complaining about this other show that I'd sold, he said, I don't understand why you're not doing a show about the thing that you talk about constantly. And I couldn't believe that he had to tell me that. And that was my buddy Chris McCulloch from the Venture Brothers. And he's like, I don't understand why you're just not doing that. And I was like, why didn't I figure that out? Why did you have to tell me? And sometimes it's just right in front of you and you don't know. So I called Adult Swim and I said, hey, I've got this show idea. And it's about this extreme metal band, and it's going to be they're going to be the biggest entertainment act on earth, and that's pretty much the idea, and it's comedy, you know. And he said, that sounds great, and I know you can write the music because he wrote all this music on home movies, and I know you can produce it because he produced home movies and all that stuff. So he said, so write up a treatment of like the first episode. And I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm not going to do that yet because I think I can figure that out pretty quickly. What I need to really make sure makes sense is the music. So I spent like 3 or 4 months just writing music for what I think this band, and I kept on having to tune my guitar lower and throw in more double kicks and do more and more stuff. Eventually I started figuring out what this band was going to sound like. And I figured if I could make the music stand alone, then I've got something, because I think in the wrong hands a show like this would be just a generic kind of wash of rock and roll, where they farm it out to some other place and they don't have any connection with the show. So I figured it is important and in my best interest to write all the music myself and to write the scripts myself and do most of the voices, you know. So
Nathan Explosion and
yes.
Swisscar and Pickles, and do you do the manager as well?
Yes, I do Charles Oftenson.
Oftenson, okay,
yeah.
I've been pronouncing it wrong for so long.
There's a character, Edgar Jomfru. I do a guy named Dick Magic Ears Nubler, their producer. And then, a whole bunch of other characters also.
We're a music video channel. We got like 7,500 music videos. So Galaxy was the most recent music video?
I think, I don't know what order they released them in, but that was something. We did them all for this tour, and they kind of portion out some of these tour videos for people to check out, and yeah.
That's a really beautiful video. It kind of reminded me of the opening credits of Alien, so that was really cool.
That was something that I think we looked at that in 2001, and just like slowness, our show is so fast that it's really fun to have a slow-paced thing that kind of sucks you in and draws you into the story a little bit more.
And then, of course, I Ejaculate Fire.
Yes.
Great song, great video, love it.
Great title.
Yeah, definitely.
That's up there. I mean, I'd put that up there with anything the Beatles did.
Yeah. The folks at PETA wanted to know why a camel had to get incinerated in that video.
Oh, did they want to know that?
Yes.
That's a good question. I think, what is it, the PETA cartoon wing of...
Yeah, the virtual PETA.
Yeah, for cartoon animal hurtment. That's a good question. I don't like... honestly, whenever I see an animal get hurt in our show, like somebody like... Because I'll suggest something and I'll throw it to the animators and the directors, go, try to top this, see what you can do. And sometimes it goes in a squirrely place, or honestly, there was an episode where a parrot's beak got like hurt, and I really was not okay with it. I don't know. I'm a dog owner. I don't like to see any animal get hurt, so I'm on their side. So I don't think that was a stuffed camel, a cartoon stuffed camel. It was not a real one. So yeah. So just remember that. That's how we rationalized it.
The covetous serpent did constrict those that luxuriated their final feast.
The voices, the guest voices on your cartoon. I remember I saw one, and there was Werner Herzog doing an introduction in the beginning. I was like, oh, that's probably a one-off, a sample from something he did.
Right.
And then I heard him again and again. How on earth did Brendan Small get to collaborate with Werner Herzog?
It's a good question, because I heard this voice in my head, and I'm such a fan of his. And he's got such a great voice, and I thought, you gotta ask. You know, what are you gonna do? Go around your whole life not asking for impossible, stupid stuff? You know, so I think some people just don't ask sometimes, or they think of getting like a Herzog impersonator or something like that. And,
that was him.
And that was really Werner Herzog, and he came into the studio, and you can see him in the documentary in the making of the Death Album 3 on the deluxe edition. So he comes in, and I'm talking to him, and I'm directing him in this session, and he is amazing, and he's as cool as you want him to be. Also, if you come and see the Dethklok tour, the first thing you're going to hear is a special voiceover from Werner Herzog, who kind of like summons Dethklok from the pits of hell, and it's his voice. It's the first thing. It's very. I don't know if my demographic necessarily notices that. You do, because you're probably a film fan.
Oh yeah.
But not everybody does. But when someone does figure that out, it's pretty cool for them, and it's pretty cool for me.
I love it.
Yeah, so
that's great.
So come to the show, and you'll hear exclusive audio that was recorded by Herzog, just for the tour.
That's great.
Yeah,
That's great. That's
cool.
great. I ejaculate fire. A venomous fluid, cantankerous druid. It kills when I breed with my death seed. Checkmate. World dies when I procreate a bloody mess. Bubbles with heat. Fear the splattering acidic what? Oh no. Acidic demattering. It burns. I'm fried to my loins, testicular propane, I forget the rest of it.
You're almost there.
Okay,
almost there.
testicular propane.
So what is, what?
Give me a hint.
It's, what would contain propane?
Tanks exploding! Can you just swear at me a few times? I had this idea.
Hey, fuck your mama.
You, Brendan.
Thanks for watching, folks.
You, Brendan. An explosion. Squiskar. Charles. Pickles the drummer. Wartoth.
God,
Toki.
it doesn't get any more punk rock than what just happened here. I gotta go. That was fun. Hi, I'm Brendan Small from Dethklok, and you're watching BlankTV. Dangerous music for dangerous people.